If you could define beauty in one word, what would it be?
Beautiful.
There are many different definitions of the word beautiful. It's different for everyone, and for some people, it even seems unattainable. Starting from a young age, we're conditioned to believe that there is something we have to live up to, like we have to look, act, and speak a certain way in order to be considered good enough. But what most people have trouble realizing is that we all are beautiful in our own way. Unfortunately, at a young age, many lose sight of this due to the judgment they feel from others.
My babysitter, when I was 10 years old, used to call me gordita, and she would go to Chili's after school and give me grilled vegetables, and she wouldn't let me get out of the car until I finished them. And she would make me do chores if I refused to eat them, and half the time I'd throw them out the window because they tasted terrible.
Fourth grade, I went to a new school, and I was made fun of. They called me Pinocchio, in a reference to my nose. Rudolph. It was actually Rudolph. It should have been Pinocchio, but it was Rudolph. Is that a red nose, I guess, instead of a long one? But yeah.
So 6th grade, I was 11 years old, 11 or 12. I remember being very aware of the color of my hair and how short I was, or how short I felt that I was. And I felt the need to compensate for that.
My other babysitter used to bite my arm and told me I tasted like chicken, and they would forbid me from eating bread sometimes.
It's easy to be your own worst critic, and it's easy to look in the mirror and hate certain things that you see. And so I think that I know a lot of girls will look in the mirror and think that they are flawed because of what they see. And I think that, unfortunately, that's just a part of developing your self-image, your own self-image. It's an unfortunate part of it, but it is an important part of it, is seeing flaws and either getting over them or learning to love them instead of hating them.
Beauty is something society defines rather than something we as an individual define, and we generally just conform to what society believes is beautiful as a whole.
I think there have definitely been times when I felt like I had to change myself to fit in, and I think that I've experimented throughout that, and maybe gone through times when I have tried to change, and then just realized that I didn't really, I didn't feel right.
When I see girls in magazines, it's hard for me. I have to remember to tell myself that they're airbrushed and that they have so many editors making their bodies look skinnier. But it's hard when I see it at first because I'm wow, I want to look like that, and I strive to look like that. But sometimes I have to realize that that's not the way my body is built, and I can still look good. I might never look like those types of girls, and sometimes those type of girls don't even look that way.
I think physically, a lot of times there's a lot of pressure to look a certain way, and whether that be going on senior spring break and wanting to look like your friends do, or just wanting to look good in your prom dress, I think that there is a standard that you're held to look good physically in order to be considered attractive.
I'm going to USC next year, and when you think of Southern California, you think of the tall, tan, blonde girl with the wavy hair and the athletic body. And I was very nervous to commit to going to school in Los Angeles because I was afraid that I wouldn't look like I belonged. And I think that I'm still a little bit nervous about that when you're 5'2" and you have red hair and freckles and maybe not the most perfect body you think, or I don't even know what perfect is, but when you feel like you don't fit what everyone else is going to look like that puts pressure on you to think well, how are people going to see me, and what is that going to change about my social experience and things like that.
The standards that society imposes repeatedly make us feel that we're not beautiful. In fact, it's easier to think that we're not beautiful than to think that we are. From the moment we start believing we're not, it becomes harder and harder to convince ourselves that we are.
Do you consider yourself beautiful?
No. I consider myself other positive things. That's not a word I would use to describe myself.
Some days, and sometimes, but other times I look in the mirror and it's, ugh. You kind of look and you think like, oh, well, this is not a great day. But I would say it really depends. It's not every day. Not every day, no.
With looks, I think that I don't think anyone feels comfortable calling themselves beautiful with looks, just because you always see your imperfections, and also you never want to seem conceited.
When you say, like, oh, I'm beautiful, it almost sounds like narcissistic, self-centered, so it's not something you just want to, like, say, like, in conversation, like, oh, hey, I'm beautiful. It's just not something you say.
I have friends who have expressed their worry over their, like, level of attractiveness, and I think it's totally unfounded because obviously they're gorgeous, but that's still an issue for them. It makes me think they're crazy because there's no evidence for this. It's just in their head because Victoria's Secret model is this big again.
As cliche as it sounds, I think everyone is beautiful. A lot of people don't realize it. But I would consider myself beautiful just because I love myself, and being myself is, like, I would never want to be anyone else.
It's taken me years to sort of feel comfortable in the way that I am, with the body that I have. I've often felt very self-conscious in my body and not very comfortable or confident in my body, but this is my body and I'm proud of it, and I don't want anyone to ever make me feel like I shouldn't be happy with it, because I am.
Do you find like the standard model, like the size 0, size 2, do you find that attractive?
Yeah, I don't really know what that means. What's a size 0?
Oh, okay, don't worry.
When we get caught up in the imperfections we see in ourselves, we can lose sight of what makes us truly beautiful. It is by staying true to ourselves that our beauty shines through.
I think beauty really comes from the inside and the way you treat other people, and I think that things that are beautiful are a good sense of humor, self-confidence, knowing who you are and being happy with who you are.
And I think that if everyone was happier, then beauty would be a much more kind of a broader experience.
If I could define beauty, I would define it as being pleasing to be around, something that you would like to look at, smell, or touch.
Someone that is just fun to be around is beauty, not necessarily appearance. It could be completely personality. So someone that you enjoy spending time with is beautiful.
I mean, like, I've gotten to know a lot of people that you wouldn't classify as, like, classically beautiful, but, like, their personalities are such a way that they just, like, really, like, enjoy and, like, want to experience life and, like, other people, that, like, it, like, makes them beautiful, and, like, sort of, like, their sort of beauty, like, comes out through, like, their appearance. And so you start, like, forgetting about, like, minor flaws, like, they've got a little extra weight, or, like, their hair's kind of messed up or something like that, and you just sort of see that, like, effervescent quality about them, that they're just, like, really happy to be where they are.
This is getting all serious, and but, like, I don't know, like, the person who will be the most beautiful to me is the person who is, like, perfect for me in every way, right? And is, like, the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. They're like that person that you appreciate everything about them.
Young girls today face many challenges regarding their self-image. Almost every girl goes through these challenges, and coming out of this struggle, every girl has a message to share.
It's much more important to be yourself than to be anything else, because if you're not yourself, then you're not anything.
We're meant to be different. We're meant to look different ways and be different ways and have different personalities. And when we try to conform to other people and society, then it just makes us unhappy. And there's no point in being happy when everything about you in the first place is beautiful.
But just try and stay true to yourself and hold your own, because I swear that all of the pressure will pass by and you'll be much happier if you're happy with yourself and who you are.
Each individual person, everyone is beautiful in their own way. I know that's cliche, but it's absolutely true.
Beauty is not a singular object. It's not something that others can give or take from you. It's an experience that you give yourself. It's a definition that you give yourself. And so if you're not feeling it, if you're down on yourself, it's gonna get better. And as you change and as you grow, let yourself grow and let yourself recognize that you are beautiful, and you are special, and you are an important piece to your community and to your world. And never forget that.
At some point in our lives, our ideas and perceptions can become distorted. But imagine what it would be like if we all could go back to the beginning.
You should never judge someone by how they look.
What do you think makes a person beautiful?
Sparkly clothes. A beauty spot. A beautiful spot. Well, pretty much their DNA. I like that they always have shiny eyes and boys really don't, and they always use nice manners like a princess, and boys don't really do it.
Inside beauty is better than outside beauty. Well, outer beauty is more like bragging about you're saying, I'm more beautiful than anyone. I should be the king. I am the most beautiful person in the world. Now that's being bad inner beauty, and you think you have the best outer beauty in the world. Now, inner beauty, you would say, I am beautiful, but I'm not the most beautiful in the world. Oh, and I love people too a lot, and you would be nice and kind and loving, all of that. That's actually God. One of his reasons that he made you, I think, is to make the earth a better place. And one of the reasons he gave you your soul is to give you the inside beauty. So you would take care of the plants, the trees, the animals. That's what I like doing.
While it is unrealistic to think that everyone will view beauty through the eyes of a 5-year-old, it is not unrealistic to think that beauty is more than just physical appearance.
If you had to define beauty in one word, what would it be?
Personality.
Confidence.
Compassion. Difficult.
Unique.
Happiness.
Grace.
Individuality.
Confidence.
It's just joy. Beauty is love.
And I think that's what I have to say today. Mean and, well, he was kind of unwell behaved, and my grandma, he came to my grandma's house because we had a little problem with mold and rats. We live with my grandma. Now, he had a little, he goes to a better school now, but now he's really better, but my grandma gave him actually a plastic plate. And I think that's what I have to say today.